Hello and welcome to my very first YouTube video. I'm Marie, I'm an author and a uni student. I study at the IU University and this is also what this video is about. I've prepared some notes, so sometimes you will see me glancing down. I just have to make sure I say everything I need to. I chose, I'm doing a Bachelor of Arts, International Management in English. I just wanted to make this video because many of you have reached out to me over my Instagram asking me, it's almost every time the same questions. How does the uni work? How do exams work? How's the contact with any students? What's my honest review, etc. So I will try talking about all of that. The main reason I do this video is because when I enrolled at the uni, I searched on YouTube for like reviews and stuff, and I could not find any in English. Like I only found them for the German degree because the IU has two different university types. You can study in English or in German, and I only found those on German, and I thought, yeah, maybe, it could be helpful for people that only speak English, that they might have some video or something where they can see what the university is like. So I'm only going to talk about the online degree in English because that's what I chose. And yes, without further ado, let's get into it. So as the name states, the IU online program is a program that is 100% online. You do not have a single lecture or a single exam in person. It's everything you can do from home as long as you have a stable internet connection. You have different time models. You can choose between full-time, part-time, and part-time too. Full-time is like if you have a lot of time to study. This is what I chose. I have a full-time degree, and you should be done with a bachelor's degree within 36 months. If you choose part-time, it's most likely for people that do not have as much time to study every day, or that work, or that have just other obligations and cannot invest that much time each day into studying. And yeah, the time modules vary here, so you can choose. I actually wrote it down. For example, if you choose part-time 1, the bachelor degree will take 48 months to complete, and for part-time 2, this is like for people that are extremely time restricted, they will take 72 months to finish their degree. And yeah, the tuition fees vary depending on those models models you choose. And you can actually, if you don't live in Germany, you can get a 50% degree. So that's quite nice. Yeah, you can begin with your studies at any time since it's online. All the information is on the online portal they have. It's very known because it's a very autonomous learning program since it's 100% online. You don't have any set dates when you need to give exams or any set deadlines at all. You do not have to, there is no mandatory participation in live sessions required, so it's just very you're very free to do your own thing basically. The modules work in such a way, like in a normal university, you go in, like an in-present university, you go in and usually you do like all your courses at the same time and write the exams in between. And what the IU recommends is that you choose one module, work on one module and write the exam afterwards, and then start the next. That's also what I do, and I really like that kind of program because you really get into the contents and can really like give and can really give everything into that one course. Okay, just to be clear, there are 2 web pages you can choose. If you want to study in German, you go to www.iu.de. And if you want to study in English, you go to www.iu.org. Okay, and there you can find all the information in English or German accordingly. Okay, so let's get into more details. So how is every module or every course structured? So the way you get your materials is there is like an online portal, and there you can download all your materials, there you can find the videos, there you can find the access to the course feed and everything. So yeah, you will just get access to that once you are enrolled in the university, and it's really well structured. So you basically register for a course, and then you have access to all the learning materials. Okay, the learning materials consists of, the most important thing is the script. You will get one script for every course you do, and the script is about, I would say, between 100 to 200 pages long, and that will be the content of your exam or your written assignment. Okay, so that's the most important thing. The course books are really important. You will need to work through that in case you want to pass your exams. But you also have some, depending on the course, you also have some other materials available. Is, for example, you have some videos, you have some podcasts, sometimes you have live session recordings. There are some PowerPoint slides sometimes that you can download, or just further reading recommendations. So there's a wide range of materials you can choose from. But again, the most important thing is the course book. For every single course you choose, you get a link to your Teams group, Microsoft Teams group, and this is the place where all the communication of the course takes place. So there you can just ask the professor something, share WhatsApp groups, ask some students some questions, etc. They work really well. I've had a really good experience with them. All the professors get back to the questions you send in, and yeah, it's really well structured, and you can also like see the questions of other students that set them like priorly, and you can usually, just by reading through, many of your own questions will get answered. Every course offers like live sessions, but they aren't the typical like university lectures. Okay, so you get the live sessions, and it's basically like 1 hour for every 2 weeks. It's not mandatory, you can participate, and if you don't, nothing happens. And that's just a moment where you can just ask your questions in person to a professor and interact a bit with the students. Exams. So all the exams are again taken online or submitted online. You can, depending on the module, you have either like an essay you need to write, or a case study, a written assignment, or you get a normal exam. Some studies also offer the possibility to choose between either writing a case study or an assignment, like some kind of essay, or an exam. So sometimes you have the possibility to choose from those. Regarding exams, I have to admit, all the courses I've taken so far did not include any exam. I've only done like essays for now, but as far as I understand, the exams are pretty simple. You can choose the date whenever you want to, like be it on the weekend, in the week, at night, at day, doesn't matter. And yeah, you will just have then the date set. Up to 24 hours before the date, you can just cancel your set date. Once you start your exam, you will like connect. It's like basically some kind of online call, and you connect with a supervisor. He will see you, and he will ask you some questions, ask you to show your room, make sure everything's okay, and you will record yourself like with your on-screen camera, and you will record yourself from the back, so everything's going according to plan, and they will be with you throughout the entire length of your exam until you submit it. So yeah, that's really easy. There's also the possibility to do some exams at some exam centers, but I think they are only available in Germany. I'm not so sure about that because I've not looked into that, because since it's online, I would just I would always choose online, so I will not look into that. But I do know that there is a possibility to take some exams in centers. Okay, let's get to something that I've been asked for many times, namely the advantages and disadvantages of this type of studying. I will start with the advantages. First of all, it's 100% online, so it's 100% flexible. You don't have any time restrictions, you don't have any deadlines, which is really nice to have. You can just set your time for yourself. You can sometimes, if you have a lot of work in 1 week and you don't have time to study for uni, you can just double it for the next week, or just move a bit around. So that's all up to you, which is really nice. The time flexibility offers you the possibility to work at the same time, and that's also like most of the students I know at the IU actually work and study at the same time. Okay, the study content is really well organized. I'm so happy with how everything is organized. Everything is understandable. It's just really relevant for the business world itself, so that's also really great. I also like that you improve your English skills, because all the material is in English, so you will need to improve your English, or you will do it automatically. So that's also a good investment into yourself. And yeah, the autonomous learning style is basically the most beneficial thing about this university, I would say. Let's go to the disadvantages. Many of the advantages I just listed are also disadvantages depending on your personality and your type of learning. So for example, the autonomous learning also forces you to push yourself. There will be nobody who will push you or set your deadline. There is nobody to say, okay, Marie, have you sent it now? No, that's all up to you. You need to constantly push yourself to get everything done. Additionally, there's no social content. I mean, you do have some WhatsApp group, you do have this course feed on Microsoft Teams that you can participate in, but you will not have, I mean, maybe you will, but in my experience, you will not have the typical social contact you usually have in a normal university, because since you can start this program anytime you want, the thing is that many people started at some point throughout the year. Some have different types of time modules, and others are all, especially if you study in English, most of the students are all around the world, so you don't have the same working times either. So that makes it really hard to stay in contact and just get to make real friends as you would in a university. But again, the course feed is great for every technical questions and questions regarding the content and etc. So that's really, really nice. But I don't think you have that loose kind of friendship you may get in normal universities. Yeah, the WhatsApp groups are also really good, of an exchange channel. You can ask your questions there. They will help you with everything. And again, the course feed is absolutely great. I love the course feed. I love how the professors get back to every single question you said. It's a great communication, and I love the course feed. Like, content related stuff is in the course feed just absolutely perfect. Another disadvantage is that there are no proper lectures as you know them in universities. You only have this Q&A sessions every 2 weeks. So you will not have the typical professor who will stand in front of a class and just explain how everything works. You will just have like this Q&A sessions where you can ask your questions, and these sessions are usually like an hour long, so it's not enough time, I would say, for like the questions to be all answered in very, very much detail. Again, I would suggest to use the course feeds, because there you have the time to explain everything 100% precisely. Price-wise, it depends on where you live, if it's an advantage or a disadvantage. Because if you happen to live in a country where you pay like thousands of dollars each month to study, this university is pretty cheap. But on the contrary, of course, if you study in Germany, where you pay like, I think I paid about 100 something for an entire semester, it's quite pricey. So that depends on your own like circumstances. The next thing is very important. Is the IU a good match for you? So I've written down 5 questions, and these questions will determine whether you will have a good time at the university or not. So the first one is, do you need social contact in order to study? Do you depend on that? The next one is, do you need pressure, and do you need like properly set deadlines in order to get your work done? Because you will not have that here. Are you the type of person who can push yourself constantly over a long period of time? Are you actually able to study in English? And lastly, are you a good reader who can work through this amount of pages on their own accord? Yeah, by answering these questions, you will already have a good feeling whether or not the IU is a good thing for you. If you are an autonomous learner with self-motivation, self-discipline, I think you will have a good time at the IU. If you aren't, I would recommend just reconsider studying an online degree, because you will need to basically work everything out by yourself. Don't take these questions lightly, because I know at first it sounds, oh, you need to work through the course book yourself, and you're like, yeah, okay, fine. But in the long run, it takes a lot of discipline to really do that, because again, you do that by yourself. You do that like alone in your room usually, or maybe with friends, but you read through the contents by yourself, and you outline everything by yourself, you summarize everything by yourself, and that takes a lot of effort in the long run. So now let's get to my personal experience. Again, I'm not sponsored. Everything I say here is 100% my honest experience, and I can only talk for my own course and my own study program, which is again for full-time Bachelor of Arts International Management in English. So why did I choose the IU? It was the only university I actually found that was like 100% online. I mean, I'm sure there may be some others, but it was the only one that I found, where you are like 100% set online and there aren't like any exams taken in person or any lectures in person. So that was my main reason. Additionally, this university is much cheaper than if I would study where I live. And most importantly, the time flexibility just allows me to study and write my books at the same time. So that was a huge point why I chose this university. And how long do I usually take for university per day? I invest about 3 to 4 hours every day in order to like get work done, summarize stuff and everything. According to the IU, like studying in full time, which is what I'm doing, studying in full time may take up to 40 hours. So it always, of course, it's like it depends on the circumstances. It's also personal questions. How fast do you read? How fast can you summarize? Is the course you're currently doing interesting to you? How complex is the topic, etc. So I think it also varies depending on the course you're currently working on. So my honest review. I can only say that I absolutely love the IU so far. So it's only been like half a year, but I'm in love with this form of university. I just love how organized it is. I love how structured it is. I love how understandable everything is done. I love to work through the course books. I love the materials they offer to you. And after studying a course, I do have the feeling that I'm really well prepared to take an exam and stuff. So I'm really happy with that. I did not have a problem finding my way around through the online portal. It's really easy. It took me like a couple of minutes actually to understand how it was structured. So that was also really good. Also, I'm an introvert, so I enjoy like working by myself and working through everything by myself. So that was not a problem. Of course, I do need to have like social contact from somewhere else that isn't the university, so I need to be a bit more extroverted in that sense and meet up with more friends and stuff. But that works out fine for me too. And again, if I do have questions, I just ask them in the course feed and I always get an answer. And if the answer is not clear, I can repost questions or ask again. So that's not an issue at all. I only have one slight critique, and that is that it can take really long for you to get your exams back. Like the maximum is 6 to 10 weeks. Of course, like that's the maximum. I've gotten my exams back sooner, but when it can take that long, and when it takes that long, it's a bit annoying. But it wouldn't be like a point where I say, oh, because of that you shouldn't study at the IU. No, not at all. I'm really happy with the IU, and I think it's a great possibility for people to just study from home for whatever reasons, be it for kids, be it for a job, or be it because of the prices of other universities. So I'm really, really happy with it, and I can 100% recommend this university to you if you are the type of person who can motivate themselves, work autonomously, and all the things I've already described. That's really important. If you aren't that type of person, you will probably not have a good time at the online program, because you really need to do everything by yourself. That is really, really important. I think one of the most important questions you need to ask yourself before enrolling at the IU. So I love it, but I think everybody's experience depends a lot on the personality you have and what kind of a learner you are. And yeah, I think that's all for now. I'm sure I may have forgotten some things, or may have explained something badly, or may have overread something, or just anything. But I can always come back and do a second video if you want to, with more details. If you have any questions left, please make sure to DM me on Instagram. That's where I always look at the DMs, and I will get back to you and answer them, or post them down below, but I'm not sure how often I will look into YouTube. But on Instagram I will answer to you. And yeah, I hope I was able to clear out any doubts you might have had. And yeah, until next time, ciao!